In this episode, I'm going to go over some of the new products that I'm excited about. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Luis Torres, and I actually just wanted to go over some of the new products that have come to market or will come to market this year. And you know, it's funny because earlier this year, Kyle Rhodes from KSR Amplification went ahead and announced that he was actually creating a new boost pedal called the ERIS. And of course, I went and immediately just jumped on board, and he had a pre-sale. So, you know, here's this clean boost that he's going to make. And if you've ever used any KSR product, then you know that Kyle seriously just prides himself on the products that he creates, that he designs. He makes them so they look aesthetically appeasing. And as far as being an engineer, the guy is just a super, you know, genius, if anything. So if you've never tried the KSR series, you are missing out because that pedal is incredible. So I'm looking forward to the ERIS being available. And I guess because, you know, of course, with the pandemic going on right now, everything's been set back a bit. He had all these amp orders. And of course, you know, when you basically just have a skeleton crew building your cabinets and your amplifiers, everything gets, you know, goes in line in its sequential order. So at some point I'll get this boost pedal and I'll be super excited to go ahead and share it. So if you've never heard of it, I'll put a link below. That way you guys can check that out, and hopefully you'll jump into the KSR family. So last night I'm on Facebook and someone ended up tagging me in a conversation where they were talking about boost pedals and distortion pedals, and one of them is a pedal called Lichtbringer, which is by the company Klirrton, which is owned by Karsten, who actually went ahead and created, if you guys remember the video that I made with the Grindstein. So that's the same company, and the Lichtbringer is a boost pedal that has a low filter, a mid cut, along with a boost. So him and I were just talking back and forth, and one of my buddies, Jordan in Canada, dude, that guy raves about it. He actually just got it a few days ago, and he's like, dude, you have to get it. So he sent me all these video clips of him playing it, and it just sounds amazing. But also, him and I have similar styles, so he also explained how it's different from all of these other boosts. So I'll put a link below so you guys can check that out. So going ahead and speaking to Karsten, he actually mentioned that he had 4 of them left, and actually is now down to 3. So check that out below. I found a video by this kid named Cody Burke. You may have seen him before. I mean, I've seen a bunch of his videos. Super talented musician, and he actually went ahead and made an amazing video and review with that pedal. So I'll put a link to that below also, so you guys can check that out. But definitely, listen, if you made the incredible pedal Grindstein, then just like Kyle Rhodes, I could only imagine that anything you make going forward is going to be just as amazing. But also, get this. So now he's actually going to go ahead and make a noise gate. So of course, you know, I'm reading what's going on, and he's describing what makes it different than other pedals. And the issue is that a lot of these noise gates are basically like Fortin Sigil clones, but the problem is that the Fortin Sigil is a clone of the noise gate that's found in the Marshall JCM 800 Kerry King model. So, you can't be that same guy. You know what I'm saying? You can't do the same. So I'm reading what he's mentioning and I'm just like, yo, I think this guy is literally going to make the best noise gate on the planet. So just to give you an idea, okay, because I actually own the Fortin Sigil, the ISP Decimator, the ISP G-String, the Boss NS2, the GUP Tech Ghoul. You name the noise gate, I have owned it and have videos with them. So for me, I feel like the best noise gate is the Fortin Sigil. Now, the Fortin Sigil works best with Fortin products. So the problem is that you need this extra pedal that Fortin makes, the spliff, so you can actually have the key isolated. And if you look at the spliff, you'll see that there's one output that you put directly into the key. So what Karsten was describing is literally almost basically having a built-in isolation. So it's almost the equivalent of having two pedals that Fortin makes into one. So what better than having to save money and not have to buy two pedals? So keep in mind, and this is just my opinion, if the best noise gate on the market needs a second pedal, so you're talking about a $250 pedal plus $125 for the spliff, we're talking about the best noise gate needs to be paired with another pedal that you have to buy. This is one pedal with both of those in one. And of course, the spliff and the roach are actually bypass switches. So it's a little different, but the most important part of the spliff is the ISO, which runs out to the key, and this one will already have it built in. So I feel like he's basically designing the best noise gate in history. So again, I'll put a link to the Klirrton website and you guys can check that out. And he's going to be doing a small batch, so stay tuned to that because I will be on board with that guy. And of course, next up is going to be the new EVH 5150 Stealth 50 watt. So I have a bunch of friends that have the EVH 5150 3 100 watt Stealth and they love it. They say that it's different than anything that was previously made by EVH. And so here is this new 50 watt, which if you were to watch some YouTube videos where they literally compare, and I'm talking about not the 50 watt, where someone is comparing the 6L6 model, which is the white EVH, to the EL34, which is the gold EVH, to the all black Stealth. And you can hear that there's subtle differences between them, which is absolutely amazing. I would only anticipate that the 50 watt Stealth is going to be like that. But here's the catch. They kind of, I don't know if they could have possibly have done anything, especially if they had already gone into production. But James Brown, who is the engineer that made the first PV 5150 for Eddie Van Halen, is now with EVH. So I don't necessarily think there could have possibly have been any changes to the Stealth, but I have to assume that the next batch of amps that EVH makes is going to be absolutely incredible and completely off the hook. So, I've talked to a few guys and they're just like, dude, I put in my order for the 50 watt Stealth. I'm just waiting. I guess there's, because of the pandemic that we're currently in, everyone's just kind of waiting for them to ship their heads out. And then we'll probably start seeing reviews online, some YouTube videos with it. And that thing should be absolutely incredible. Listen, I had the EVH 5153 50 watt, and now she's at actually an absolutely amazing new home out in Western New York. But, their amps are absolutely amazing. So if you've never tried an EVH, you have to try one. people are just like, that's Fender. Dude, forget about who makes it. Bro, keep in mind that the Demon TS9 is made by some Chinese factory in China, and that thing is absolutely incredible. So don't tell me that some amp made by Fender that has the EVH tag is going to be terrible when James Brown is now with the company. So take that. And lastly, we're going to go over the Fortin 20-watt Sigil. So, of course, in NAMM 2020, they had featured it. We were able to watch videos and listen to clips with it, and the thing is absolutely roaring. The only thing that I kind of, which is still great because who cares? It's not like I'm playing Madison Square Garden or even playing a tiny venue. This is my venue. This is Louis Square Garden right here. So with the new Sigil 20 watt, it has smaller tubes, smaller power amp tubes. So it uses 6v6 tubes as opposed to, say my Paul Reed Smith MT15 that has full size 6L6. So are you going to be able to use it to play live? I don't know. I think it's going to be great for recordings because just listening to it, the thing sounds absolutely incredible. And at 20 watts, even with 6v6 tubes, that thing is still going to pump out just fierce, just chugging sessions that you're going to absolutely, just drop, when you start playing. To me, it kind of reminds me like my buddies that went ahead and bought the Fortin Meshuggah, and they're just like, dude, it's like nothing you've ever played before. It's just plugged straight through, and it just absolutely kills. So I feel like the Sigil, from what I've heard, is exactly the same thing in a much smaller package. For $1250, everything included, it's probably not bad. At some point, once they start delivering it, someone's going to end up selling it. Someone's going to say, I have to unload it. I'll give it to you for $1,000. Dude, all day long. Here's $1,000. Thank you. And now you have it. Of course, because that's what happened with the Kali, that happened with the Meshuggah. It happened with all, with all these high-end amplifiers. Someone will buy a KSR for $3,000, and they're just like, dude, I forgot about my mortgage. I'm going to sell it for a break-even figure, and you end up getting it, and now someone else has a new home for it. So don't know if that'll happen with the Sigil just because it's a decent price. It's not terribly expensive. It's not the most inexpensive. Should you, for $1250, consider an EVH 5153 Stealth 50 watt? It's probably going to be in that ballpark, but they're just different flavors. So keep that in mind when you're considering getting any of those amps. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the absolute best. If you learned something, or if you decide to get a pedal or a pedal that I've actually suggested, leave a comment below. Do the same thing if you're going to plan on getting the EVH 5153 Stealth or the Sigil. If you have one, let me know. Send that puppy over so I can do a little video clip. But again, thank you so much for watching. I try to talk to different people, engage different things, and what's going to be the next hot, pocket, the hotness, the hottie of the hots. So I'll probably start doing, videos like this just to let you guys know what's coming down the pike. And guys, links are below. Make sure you click on them. If you're thinking of getting a boost, check out the Lichtbringer. You're going to absolutely love that thing. Again, my buddy Jordan shared that pedal, and it sounds like it just kills. So guys, thank you again. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and as usual, I will talk to you guys soon.